again, so-called NBC report is revealing another insurance policy against President Trump. This one is involving the U.S. military. According to NBC, a shadowy group of people inside the government are, quote, quietly devising plans to try to foil Trump's constitutional authority over the military. Under the Constitution, the president is the commander-in-chief, not the apparatchiks in permanent Washington, who nobody elected. Here to discuss is the Hoover Institute senior fellow and author of The Dying Citizen, Victor Davis Hanson. Happy New Year, sir. Good to see you again. It's not enough the left has weaponized the media, the FBI, the DOJ, the National Archives, anything and everything they can think of to get their hands on. Now they want to lay down the predicate that it's okay to suspend the Constitution when a non-Democrat compliant Republican is voted in. It's a rather depraved mindset, is it not?
Yeah.
It's a communist mindset.
And I think every institution of government is in danger of being weaponized. We see that with the FBI and its performance art raids against ex-presidents. We see it with the DOJ and the special prosecutor. We see it with the Pentagon. Remember Mark Milley, he really overreached his authority as chairman of the Joint Chiefs when, without the knowledge of his commander-in-chief, which he had no constitutional right to do, he contacted his Chinese communist counterpart to warn him about the danger, supposedly, of his own president, Donald Trump. So we're way down that line of anti-constitutional normality, and we've got to have a rectification or we're going to lose the Constitution.
Yeah, in my opinion, and I've said this on the air before, Mr. Milley, his actions were traitorous, in my opinion, and
treasonous.
He should be inside of a jail cell and court-martialed.
Yep.
After
along with the whole lot of them.
Iowa caucuses, here's Nikki Haley basically dismissing Iowa voters and instead looking forward to New Hampshire and South Carolina. Watch.
Oh my God.
The pundits will analyze the results from every angle. We get that. But when you look at how we're doing in New Hampshire, in South Carolina, and beyond, I can safely say tonight, Iowa made this Republican primary a two-person race.
You know, there's a lot of takeaways from that in my mind. Just the establishment doesn't take it very well when the people reject them, do they?
No, I think she became the heartthrob of the Rhino middle or even the left. And I think that because she was young, they saw her as a Gavin Newsom type of figure, next generation, but they didn't understand the other side of Gavin Newsom, which also applies to her, that she wasn't ready for prime time. So she had all of these unenforced gaffes about the Civil War, about changing her personality depending on the audience, deprecating the Iowa caucus voters. And so I think the longer she gets exposed, the more Newsom-like she becomes.
Folks, we're just getting some breaking news, and I want to get Victor Davis Hanson to weigh in on this. We're now hearing that the U.S. has redesignated the Houthis as a terrorist organization. Now, I just got to give some background on this, VDH, because President Trump had designated them terrorist organizations. Joe Biden got in and said, well, if Trump did it, I'm going to undo it. So he took them off the terror watch list. He enriched Iran. Iran then funded the Houthis, and the Houthis started firing rockets and missiles at U.S. ships, and now they're redesignated. Man alive, it's absurdity on its face, but go ahead and give me your reaction.
Well, it applies to the Middle East in particular, but also the general attitude toward the Trump record. If Biden had just come in and left alone the economy and foreign policy, crime, and the border, he wouldn't be polling 33%, but almost in a Pavlovian fashion, he just rejected everything. And in the Middle East, it turned disastrous because he sought out the Iran deal. I hope that's off the table. He lifted the sanctions on Iran. Maybe he'll now get wisdom and put sanctions back on Iran. He's put sanctions back, I supposedly, by declaring him a terrorist organization on the Houthis. But he also gave money, I think we're still giving them to Palestinians, which includes the Gazans and Hamas. Maybe he'll start to see the ignorance and disasters of that decision as well. But I think what the media is trying to do is just not tell us that the American people are waking up and seeing that almost everything that he overturned would have helped the country in general, and it would have actually helped Joe Biden. And he's been his worst enemy just by automatically rejecting anything.
Joe Biden's not the president. He's an empty vessel.
Yeah, he's turning not only into his own worst enemy, he's turning into the
Obama
worst enemy
is telling
of
him
the
what to
United
do.
States. Because again,
Susan
there's
Rice.
no thinking involved in this regime. There's no, if it's Trump, we're just going to turn the other way, no matter how many people in the United States it hurts. As a matter of fact, I think hurting the American people is the point of this regime. Victor Davis Hanson.
Obama is the only president that has not left Washington after his
House
term.
Republicans,
Let that sink in.
They don't seem to have the heart to do anything against